Gather round and let me tell you a story of realms long forgotten. There are tales of the Forest Kingdom, a place of honour and chivalry, known to some as the Land of the Purple Dragon, but known to all as Cormyr.
Hi, I'm Tilda, and I'm playing Hiram, a half-orc paladin.
Hi, my name's Carl. I'm playing Catcher Donahue, a human bard.
Hi, my name is Anton, and I play Balthazar, a Warforged Cloak of Azuth.
Hi, my name is Al, and I'm playing Slate, a changeling druid.
Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm playing Zombo, who is a halfling rogue/warlock.
And my name is Dan. I shall be the dungeon master on this adventure. Hello! Hi!
How's him, Dan?
Hi!
How's it going?
Yeah, it's going well. How are you lot, you devilishly handsome bunch, you?
Feeling a lot better now I've been flattered.
See, I'm buttoning you up.
Yep, you'll need it.
What have you done?
For I've planned this session. That's what I've done. And you may or may not like me at the end of it. And I'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're all friends.
Good times that we had.
Good times.
Well, we're friends now, but whether we're still friends at the end of the session is the question.
Yeah, well. Yeah. So, last time we saw the Warhounds, they went portal jumping again, didn't they? They are traipsing about the Shadowfell. Shamelessly split the party. How could you?
We planned
How could
it.
you split the party? Terrible.
It was strategic.
But yes, you've managed to reunite the party, so your DM is happy, and you now stand in the Realm of Shadows, which is a lovely place.
Debatable.
Said the travel agent. But yes, who would like to rejoin the Warhounds as they venture into the Shadowfell?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Don't get why you're so excited, Anton. Like
I'm getting all my energy out now, and then we're good.
Because Balthazar currently has the IQ of nothing.
A snail. I think a snail. That's about it. Or a rabbit. I have to look up the stats. I'll do some research.
You have to admit, easiest role playing that you're looking forward to.
Just need to make baby noises.
Yeah, chirping.
The Shadowfell. A realm of stagnation and gloom, it stands as a dark mirror to the material plane, a black reflection of a world devoid of life, energy, and emotion. In the aftermath of the Spell Plague over 100 years ago, the Netherese Empire returned to the realms once again, infused with the power of the Shadowfell and its Dark Lady, Shar, both a gift and a curse. Led by the Shadowvar Council, the Netherese would be defeated during the War of Shadows, causing the crumbling of the Netherese Empire and tempting the people of Cormyr with the prospect of peace. However, this is not the first time the Netherese have fallen, only to rise again with new and powerful allies. The Warhounds have boldly stepped into the Plane of Shadows in pursuit of their foe, but tragedy has befallen one of their number. And so, we find the Warhounds spread across the top floor of a slightly ruined and decrepit tower that proves to be a dark parody of the Tower of the Mage Royal in Suzale. You there are heavy breaths that resonate through the halls, and the sounds of grunts and groans as a number of the Warhounds slowly pick themselves up. There's a grinding of rock, Slate, as you pick yourself up from the floor. Your form slowly begins to shift back to its to your original state. There we go. And as as you all kind of turn and look to the portal on the western side of the room, you can see that there's a number of individuals pouring through, led by Katya. In protestation of the bright glowing light coming out of her, Axakas dims the light that she's exuding. And yeah, the Warhounds, you see like Raedra and Magnus kind of give a nod to one another. You see Arian, Axakas, and Helenis come through as well. As you pick yourselves up, you happen to glance through a hole in the a wall of the tower, and you can see what appears to be a sickly, pulsating pink beam of energy rising from the mockery of the throne room, the royal court, up through the sky into the rift overhead, and seemingly spreading out across the city of Suzail.
The dark version of Suzail, right?
No, it appears to be going through the breach, through the rift in the sky into material world Suzail.
Okay.
Okay.
I gotcha.
So look at it. Yes, it would appear that this beam is going through a giant city-sized portal, kind of spreading out across the city.
Katya approaches Magnus. It's like, everyone is looking a little banged up, Magnus. Anything you can do?
He looks around and let me have a look. And he pulls out a spell book, and
He got a cure wounds.
I've got 1 cure wounds.
I'll step forward and go, Magnus, don't worry, leave this to the professionals. And I'll just kind of get myself a bit more limbered up because, I've been a bit tight on edge, I guess. And I will cast. Well, I'll go right into the center first of everyone. And I will cast Mass Heal Wounds.
Ooh.
Because
Is it mass healing wounds or mass cure wounds?
Mass Cure Wounds is what I meant.
That's good.
Sounds good.
Yes, it is.
Sounds like something
So I'm
we
going to
want.
cast that.
I think it's a 3d8.
It is, and it is big space. And I'll focus it on Hiram because I can see how, on the floor he is.
I am very on the floor.
It will extend to 6 people, so that will go to Hiram, Balthazar, Emily, Katya, Zumbo, and Helenis obviously looks like she's bashed up a bit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's your 6.
Perfect. That's good then. Yep.
As
And
you...
I'll look over and kind of look at Raedra and just be like, sorry.
As you cast that spell, the sickle at your side glows, and everyone gets an additional hit point.
Oh, so generous, thank you.
You are more than welcome.
Oh, cheers, Slate. That's better already.
Magnus.
I'll kind of look sheepishly at Magnus at the same time as well, because it didn't work as well as I hoped it would. So
Magnus raises an eyebrow, leans down, pokes Hiram, like places a finger upon Hiram, and gives Hiram an additional 15 hit points with the 2nd level cure wounds.
Thank
And
Alright,
like
show off.
he kind of gives you that look. As you're doing this, so Helenis gains plus 14. like as you're saying this, and some of you are kind of looking out, you notice that the portal behind you, the inky veil starts to shimmer erratically, and then it dissipates.
Oh no.
And as some of you kind of like Axakas turns and, that is not useful.
Is it
She says,
gone?
the portal closes.
And shit. No.
Helenus kind of approaches it and sort of like starts waving her hand through the in the stone archway to see if anything happens, and nothing does.
Looking up at the sensor, hoping that the automatic doors kick in.
Yes. Yeah. So they're waving at it. And whilst this is happening, Aaron, you hear Aaron say, "How are you doing, big guy?" And he heads over to Balthazar.
Balthazar will turn his head and just look at Aaron, staring down at him.
So Aaron looks at you and he notices there's a number of kind of scratches across your bodywork, and he kind of gives you a playful little kind of punch on the breastplate. Looks like you gave them a good seeing to, he says with a chuckle.
I bop him on the head with my staff.
He kind of looks at you a bit weird, and Hiram, you've noticed that.
Imagine his eyes are much dimmer than usual.
Significantly dim. But Hiram, you notice that Balthazar just seems to be. Well, you saw Balthazar get hit with some sort of spell during the battle, and he seems very quiet.
He's actually going to speak up. Like, he got hit with a spell in the fight. I'm not sure.
Silence.
I don't know. He has not really been himself since then. I don't know if that's because he can't speak or it's just a shock.
I'll wander up to Balthazar and kind of go, "Hey, buddy, you okay?" And then kind of do like a little mild shake. Hello.
So we're going to shake him.
Little thing pops up on his chest, like a little triangle that sort of says, "Ask again later." Shaka.
Balthazar turns and regards you,
Hi.
but
Just looks
it's
done.
just this impassive look.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix it. Sorry.
Okay, so is there something to
let-
fix?
Let me have a quick look. And Katja reaches up, touches Balthazar on the head, and casts Detect Thoughts.
By the way, a rabbit and a rat has 2 intelligence. Balthazar's on 1.
which means I won't actually detect him at all through
Oh, really?
the spell.
He's
The stupid rabbit in the hutch.
Yeah. You,
Does the spell actually mention the intelligence?
You can't detect. That's only if you're trying to detect creatures.
if a creature you choose an intelligence of 3 or lower or doesn't speak any language, the creature is unaffected.
So yeah, doesn't work.
You
on you.
try to reach into Balthazar, and there is nothing. No response. Just the same kind of void emptiness you felt in the people who have been transformed on the ship.
Katja sort of, she focuses for a while and then sort of, it's silent in there. She sort of looks up again, struggles and tries again. It's like he's not there. It's like there's something, just the basic instructions, but I'm not getting any thoughts.
Okay, so it's a spell. You said, Hiram, you saw a spell.
Yeah, it was definitely a spell, but I am not a spellcaster. I don't know what kind it was.
Okay. Well, let me.
Do we have something that just dispels magic?
Like cast the spell magic.
Balthazar will start walking and start following Drool around.
Good choice.
Slate, you reach out and go to kind of dispel any kind of malicious magic hanging around Balthazar. And you realize that there's no magical effect.
Oh,
Whatever has happened has happened.
I don't think this is reversible. This might be permanent. And then I'll start shaking Balthazar a bit more, like, rigorously and trying to find, like, is there like a clockwork kind of thing going on here? Do we have like a key, or is there anything we can kind of maybe fire? I don't know. Does that work? I don't know how this works at all.
I mean, we could always try, if it's possible, turning him off and on again.
Yeah, I mean, does he just need like winding up again, like a watch, or do we need to plug him in somewhere?
Maybe.
Does he need new shoes?
Maybe we should not do that because. Oh wait, do we have a way of contacting the gnomes?
Magnus?
Magnus looks and...
You wore one of their exploding collars for a long period of time. You're better connected to them than anyone.
Yeah, and that's why I would like to stay as far away from those gnomes as I possibly can. But no, I'm out of sendings.
Oh no.
Hang on, didn't those gnomes say something about like a catastrophic meltdown, or that he might suddenly break at some point when we first met him? I mean, I'm not saying he didn't get hit by a spell, but
a spell. That's what I'm thinking. Like there was nothing.
Maybe
He wasn't doing anything really.
I mean, maybe Zumbo's right. Maybe the spells shorted him out and finally broken him.
Magnus watches as Balthazar is now just kind of wandering around. You notice that Balthazar's kind of looking to you all, and there's like an air of recognition upon in Balthazar, but he's not said anything. He's not kind of emoted in any way. And Magnus turns to you, Hiram, and that spell. Describe it to me. What happened?
Balthazar did things, and then he turned around and said, "That's enough of you." And I actually have no idea how feeble mind looks like. What are the components for feeble mind? What would he have done?
So you remember that the Illithid just kind of reached out. Balthazar went stiff, his head snapped back, and then the Illithid kind of crunched its hand into a fist, and Balthazar's head just kind of snapped, jolted a bit, and then he went limp.
Okay, so it looked like he tried to reach into his mind with his hands and then grabbed it. And that's the best way I can describe it. And then he just went offline.
Magnus's face goes white. The color drains from his face. Even noticeable, with the lack of saturation in the world around you. I've heard stories of powerful Allophons when they have an interrogation that doesn't go their way, and they know that the person being interrogated is still a threat to the nation. Sometimes they'll do something a bit more permanent. It's called a feeble mind. It magically shatters someone's personality and brain power, their psyche, and renders it's a magical lobotomy.
But how? We need to fix it.
Yeah,
we need to fix it.
How do we fix it?
Yeah.
Magnus kind of, his eyebrows wrinkle, and like I say, these are used for people who are deemed too dangerous for the nation. The knowledge within their minds is too dangerous, and the risk of resurrection too high. so they get feeble-minded.
Okay.
And he
are you
turns and
telling
looks
me
up to Balthazar.
irreversible?
I mean, it's one of the most powerful magics anyone can cast, and to remedy it requires equally powerful magics. I've only seen one person who's been afflicted with this spell, and I was tempted to deliver them mercy myself, but Magnus shrugs. Maybe it's different. I mean, he's a big walking golem, right? Maybe it's worked a bit different on him.
Maybe. Okay, I feel like we definitely should contact the gnomes. They would know more.
Raedra kind of tilts her head and how do you propose we do that? The portal is closed. We have no sendings.
I'm not saying that I have a solution. It's just
We don't need a solution right now. What we do is
after. we can fix this after.
Yeah. So for now, we can't just leave him here, right? We bring him with us.
Yeah.
Slate will grab some rope out of their like satchel and like tie it around Balthazar's like wrist, maybe, unless like I don't think the waist would be. Maybe the waist would be okay.
Axakas is just kind of like her eyes are following Balthazar as he follows Drool around. You notice there's no kind of excitement or energy in Balthazar. He's just kind of plodding along in a very autonomous kind of way. And Axakas she scrunches her face up, and I can't help but feel that he will become in very useful if he could actually do anything. And perhaps we should see if he can be fixed now, she says, and kind of gives a shrug. But Raedra is looking out a crack in the window, and you can see like the looming silhouettes of mind flayers scattered across the sky. And she frowns, and I don't know if we have time for that. We might just have to drag him along. And Magnus turns to the five of you and, well, what do you think we should do? I mean, he's one of the Warhounds. Did you want to try and see if we can fix him now, or the longer we stay here, the more likely we are to get discovered?
How does Emily look, Dan?
Yeah, she's better. Thank you.
Emily.
Emily.
She's on her side.
Emily is still. Hey, okay. She sits up after a little while and makes a noise.
Yeah, I think Zombo will be helping her to her feet, and then he turns around to the others and says, well, maybe we ought to pause for a bit anyway, and Iram and Emily don't look so great, and we could do with maybe just an hour's rest, and then in that time, those of us who are up and about can see what we can do for Balthazar, but then if there's no joy, we carry on and just try and get him back to the World Serpent Inn.
Bring him here for me, because Hiram is still on the floor, by the way. Like, he did not get up.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's gonna take out the 2 potions of hell he has and give one to Emily and keep one for himself.
Oh, okay. Okay, so as Drool and Balthazar run around the room, how much healing is it? Is that 5 healing for Emily, yeah?
That's 5 for Hiram. Let's see if I can roll better for Emily.
And I'm guessing she doesn't have temp hit points anymore.
Hey, she should be on 34. 34.
34, cool. I'll set that for you.
Thank you.
So, in that time as well, Slate will be walking up to Axakas, asking what Axakas thinks that they should be doing to try and help Balthazar.
Okay. So, like as you kind of look over, like you're all watching as Balthazar's just kind of like plodding along after Drool. Raedra is scanning the skies. She turns to you and says, there isn't a chance in the Seven Hells that we're going to get an hour's respite with all of them floating above it. She kind of looks around. There's next to no roof, and there's holes in the wall, and we're just sitting ducks up here. But she looks across the city. If we can make it into the royal court, that place is like a labyrinth. We'll be able to find somewhere a bit more discreet and potentially buy ourselves some time. She looks to Balthazar, and if you think you can get him up and running in a few minutes, then we could probably do that before we go, but I don't fancy our chances staying here.
Well, it looks like he's just following Drool, so Katia, as long as you can keep Drool close, we should be alright.
Yeah, Drool will tend to follow me anyway. He found me in the city after I fell off the airship, so I just got to trust his nose.
That's a good point. You all won. None of you really knew what happened to Katia, apart from... Oh, no, I suppose you had the WhatsApp group. You had the chat room.
The chat room fell apart when we got into the...
Yeah.
Another...
Chat room fell apart.
But I guess what we would have surmised is that she managed to get through because she's here now. And she also met up with the Star Wars adventurers.
Yeah. I feel like anything else we can cover later when we are not
Yes.
in mortal danger.
So, yeah, Magnus looks to you and kind of asks to confirm, what do you want to do, Warhounds? Do you want to press on to the royal courts, or do you want to try and get Balthazar up and running first?
Let's go.
Let's go to the royal court and see what we can do there.
Okay.
Yeah.
In which case, Raedra looks to, looks down, out of the tower and sort of like gauging it. You know, the tower, the Mage Royal's tower, is part of the royal court complex, and she says, from what we saw, walking along the streets would be a death sentence, but there is a direct route. And she looks to you all and then points to the ramparts that run from the Mage Tower pretty much through to the main building of the Royal Courts. It's the most direct route. There'll be relatively little obstacles apart from any aerial visitors that we might have. But the quicker we can get to the Royal Court, the quicker we can lose ourselves in its twisting rooms and corridors.
Surely staying covered would be better here.
She kind of looks at you, and the horrors that we saw in the streets, at least with the ramparts, as long as we can keep a pace up, we should be able to. It's not that far, she says, like pulling her face. You can see she's not 100% confident in her words, but looking at it, it's a distance, but you might be able to make it.
Some of you may die.
But that's the risk I am willing to make. DM Dan, obviously there are bookcases in here. Are they pretty full, or are they pretty sort of tatty and?
The vast majority of the books are kind of old, like moth-bitten, they're kind of decayed, almost like they've been afflicted by mold. But what was it that you're looking for?
Well, Katra was going to sort of suggest that possibly the two Axakas and Magnus stay with her for a second, while they, seeing as this is effectively the Mage Royal's shadow counterpart, maybe there might be some spells in here they can make use of, and they can catch up if needs be.
Sure. Well, in which case, as you kind of have a quick little glance around there, you notice that, you leaf through a couple of the books, and you see on a table there's a map, and to look at it initially, you kind of go, "Oh, it's Suzail," but then you realise, no, it's this place, and it is named Nu Zinlenal. Spelt Nu Zinlenal. Says Emily. And
I wonder what happened to old Zinlenal.
anyone who's interested can roll me a history check.
Yeah, go on then.
Oh, yes, my
Yeah.
greatest skill.
Yeah, not mine either.
That is exactly on point, I think.
Yeah.
20.
1.
Okay. So
Balthazar.
20, 21, 3, 1, and 1. Okay, cool. Katya, you your eyes widen as you read the name News in Lenel. Because as Slate says out loud what happened to the old one, you recognize Zin, you know that Zin Lenel was a Netherese empire of ancient times. Of some considerable time ago. In fact, it's one of the first flying enclaves of Netheril. One of the first flying cities. And you heard it because it was its shattered ruins were relatively recently discovered. Very, very recently. And looking through it, you can't help but feel a chill go down your spine at the thought of a new Zinlenal, given everything that's going on.
Well, I'm only just hoping that this Zinlenal doesn't end up like the last one and floating across the world, dropping its magics on it.
Ooh. Wait, does that mean this place is quite archaeologically important? Does it mean if we take some stuff when we get back home that we could flog
I think
that thing over there and
I'd be worried it would sun bleach if we took it over. Expose it to just the littlest of sunshine, it would just turn to dust.
So,
Yeah.
just to confirm, are you looking to loot this place?
Well, we're here. We may as well, take advantage of the situation. And also, then it means we're looking forward to when we get back home.
Unfortunately, I think
I have nothing to say, to be honest with you. Okay, at this as well.
I don't think there's anything worth looting anyway. Most of these spell scrolls are just, as she holds on, it just crumbles and holds a book and all the pages fall out. It's I think most of the stuff here is past its use by date.
Well, we were going to be soon as well, aren't we, Raidra, if we stick around? So maybe, should we just get running?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of us sneakier ones go ahead and check the coast is clear.
Okay. She nods and looks at you expectantly, Zumbo.
Oh yeah. That I suppose was me, innit? Yeah.
So Zumbo, as you kind of you peer around the tower and you make your way down the staircase to the floor below, and kind of looking about, you see that there is a there is basically a hole in the wall with a little hop down. You'd land on the ramparts that kind of run up the side of the tower, and then if you stick to that rampart, it's effectively a straight run all the way west across the city to the Royal Court.
Okay. Yeah, I'll run back up and tell the others it's go time then.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to do to prepare before you go?
I don't think there is anything I can do really.
Okay.
I'm a bit low on gas.
As are we all. Okay. In which case,
I would like to do something.
Yeah.
Would I? How much of a run is this going to be? Can I ask?
I mean, it won't be.
How long?
How long is the spell you're thinking of casting?
20 foot.
Huh? No, I mean,
20 foot.
What's the duration? Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
you didn't
duration.
specify.
1 hour.
Oh, fine. Yeah. This isn't a marathon. It's just it's a 400-meter sprint.
What is that? It's definitely not. Okay.
So,
Okay, that's fine.
yeah, I mean, if we to show you here. So you are currently in the Mage Tower, and you're heading. Basically, the ramparts lead across, like in a southwesterly direction into the buildings proper. So it's a relatively straight line, but yeah.
So,
Probably
would 20 foot work?
Well, it's in terms of running, it's going to be about a couple of minutes. In terms of distance, that depends on how quickly everyone runs.
Yeah, okay. I mean, but it seemed, because this is a thing that specifically focuses on a 20-foot radius.
Sure. In which case,
So-
anyone that's with you would benefit from it. Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, I will like to then, if I can go back to where I was. Where was I? When I look outside before we start,
Mhm.
I don't know if this would... No, actually, I changed my mind.
Okay.
After all that, I've changed my mind. I don't think it'd be beneficial. I think it would just make sure that everyone couldn't see anyway, and that wouldn't be helpful for them.
Were you going to cast fog cloud or darkness on yourselves?
Yeah.
Okay. Running with the lights off. Cool.
Good luck, guys.
We're
I'll
doing
leave
fucking,
that.
fucking, was it Bird Box or something, isn't it? Like,
Yes.
don't look, it's not a problem then.
Right. So, shall we get this started then? As Zombo kind of guides you down onto the ramparts.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
We're good, best we better.
What color are the ramparts, by the way?
They are a colorless grey.
Brilliant. Okay, that's great. That works for me. I would also like to change my shimmer to match that kind of grey.
Are you going to chameleon? across it?
Yeah.
Very good. Very, very good. Okay, so as you make your way down, you kind of hop down onto the ramparts. You're joined by Raedra, Magnus, and co. And as you look along this rampart, and like it seems to stretch on further now that you're on it, irritatingly. But as you all take a deep breath, you begin your you start at a jog and then begin to build up speed. The ramparts themselves are about 80 feet off ground level, which is what you'd expect from the castle ramparts of Suzail. But you also notice that the ramparts themselves are heavily kind of damaged. There's fallen masonry. There are the weird kind of vine type things you've seen kind of creeping out of the stone, kind of gripping at it like prying fingers. And as you kind of make your way onto the ramparts and you begin running along, you look around and you hear you're watching the skies, and you see a number of the silhouettes kind of turn to face you, and then there's a crooning noise, the kind of a mournful wail that reverberates across the skies. And as the shapes begin to glide down towards you, you notice, those of you at the back, glance over your shoulders and notice that the mists seem to be churning and moving. And as you look, a number of shadow-like creatures emerge from the fogs behind you, and with a they begin to chase you.
Oh dear.
So,
There's a lot of them.
everyone, if I could please have an initiative roll.
Oh, they don't look
I
nice.
have to ask you, Dan. Did you have to make that noise?
Yes, I did.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hate shadows. Hate shadows.
So as these
shadows are the freaking worst, man.
these shadowy creatures emerge, you notice that a number of them are kind of, as they swoop along, kind of glide across the top of the ramparts, kind of skitting off and coming back in, like a pack of kind of baying hounds chasing after you. Some of the shadows kind of rattle as they drag spike chains that bounce along the top of the ramparts towards you. And as you run, you realize that this tide of shadows is relentless, and that falling in amongst their number would be very bad for one's health. So really, it's just a case of trying to stay ahead of the pack. So we are using our standard kind of chase rules. So we will be making move checks, which are athletics or acrobatics. The DC is based on your movement speeds. So the quicker you are, the easier you are to pass the moves check. Dashing gives you advantage on the move checks. There will be some obstacles in your way. If you pass the test, you stay in the segment you're in. If you fail the test, you fall back. If you pass by 5 or more, you go forward. And the aim of the game is to stay ahead of these shadows. So do not fall back into the shadows at the back of the pack. So
the Dementors. Okay.
So first up, Zumbo. As you see these kind of creatures chasing after you, and you and kind of pick up the pace a little bit, the fogs begin to thicken in front of you. You need to make a DC 15 Constitution save, or you're blinded. And your move check is rolled with disadvantage.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so you squint with your one good eye and manage to kind of wave the fog out the way of you as you run through it, and you're fine. So as a move action, you make a move check. You can dash if you like as your action, or you can keep your action for something else, like helping others or casting spells or whatever.
So as my action, if that's okay, I'd like to take the potion of speed out of my coat pocket. Chug that back and throw the glass bottle over my over my head as I start jogging.
Okay.
So I think that gives me haste for a little bit.
That does, and that increases your speed by 10.
Doubles my speed.
Doubles your speed to...
I'm now 50 foot.
50, okay,
so 25 before.
Okay, in which case, so as you make your move check, your DC will now be DC 10.
10? Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
That was my action to drink it though, so I'll dash with my bonus action.
Yeah.
I'll dash with my
bonus action.
Yeah, I've got so many actions there. I'll dash, and then I'll make my move check.
Sure. Okay, so roll with advantage.
Thanks. And I'm going to use athletics, I think.
Yeah.
Is that... no. I'll use it. Can I use either? It's acrobatics.
You can use either, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll use... I'll be jumping along, I'm moving so fast.
Oh, nat 20 to kick things off. Okay, so you all watch as Zumbo goes, nah, as he sees all these shadows appear behind him, and there's a boom, and as he starts vibrating at an alarming speed, and you watch as he tears ahead of the pack.
Wow.
Tarzan going,
very good. Emily.
Emily is gonna run. Like, she had such a bad day so far.
Sure.
A bolt.
It looks like she still has a bardic inspiration. If that might come in useful later. Yes. You move check, athletics or acrobatics. It'll be DC 14 for her. She gets advantage.
Acrobatics, I think.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Before you do that, she also needs to make a con save.
Okay, so she already failed the acrobatics, if it makes you feel better. Constitution is 19.
Okay, so she also blows through the same fog that Zumbo fell foul of. Is she dashing?
Yeah, she was trying to dash.
Yeah, you need to roll with advantage.
Roll one more.
And at this point, I am going to use the bardic inspiration for her.
Yeah.
It's a D8, D10?
D10.
D10.
17.
Ooh.
Yeah.
17.
There we
Okay,
go.
so that passes, not by 5 or more, so she kind of stays where she is, like ahead of the pack. Okay, so that was a dash from Emily. Katya.
Is anyone going to be struggling with athletics or acrobatics? No?
I've got a +1
no.
on athletics, but
That's not great. Yeah.
Yes, I was
Who
thinking.
is
I was thinking of
L?
hasting someone, but do you have acrobatics, Elle, or are you literally just +1 on either?
I'm +1 on athletics, so that's all I'm going to say about the matter.
Okay, but then again, I hope you have a wild shape left, because I imagine you'll just turn into like freaking
Yup.
cheetah.
I've got some other tricks up my sleeve.
Also,
So
I can just pick up Slate at this point, to be honest.
Should I just hasten Balthazar? I think that's probably going to be the smartest
Maybe, yeah.
thing to do.
I'm got +6 on athletics. I'm pretty good.
Yeah,
Okay.
also,
Ooh.
Arthur would have no concept of what the fuck is going on, so the haste is kind of placing on
You
him.
just
Balthazar's just Terminatoring his way along.
Very much.
Yeah,
Alright.
as long as Rule goes fast, Balthazar will also go fast.
Katya, you received no complications, so what do you want to do?
I will dash acrobatically.
Yaha. DC 14.
23.
Okay. And
Parkour.
parkour!
Parkour!
You managed to, you kind of like tear ahead of the group. Running through the streets of Suzail as a youth has given you the ability to kind of see things up ahead and kind of jump out the way and kind of vault some of the obstacles. Any bonuses?
I have one bardic inspiration left. If we're gonna have a short rest later, I think I'll throw it. I'm gonna throw it towards Slate. Slate have a bardic inspiration.
Ooh.
Okay, so as Katya runs off, she like strums a quick tune on the lute. And Draw.
Drew has nothing in his action economy here, so he's gonna dash and.
Draw suffers no complications.
Awesome. He's just going to dash and
So
use
Draw,
his
Dashingly.
athletics.
so draw speed is 40, so that's DC 12.
23.
Nice.
And Draw keeps up with Katya.
Drew looks back at Balthazar like, "Row, row."
Meanwhile, Balthazar, you receive no complication. What do you do?
Sweet. Athletics.
Are you dashing?
I do. We'll do, yes. Right, sorry. Advantage. Ooh,
Oh, okay. And Balthazar heartily chases after Draw to keep up. Hiram, your complication is nothing.
Excellent.
Zumbo and Emily have wafted all of the fog out of the way, evidently.
Emily didn't go that far, did she?
She's kind of keeping up with the pack, but everyone else is pulling ahead of her.
Okay. Can I pick her up, just and run?
Yeah.
Okay, what would you like me to roll for that one?
Well, you can grab her. I will say that sprinting with Emily is going to reduce your speed by 5. So your DC goes up to DC 15.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Okay. In which case she is grappled. Is she... Huh? As you scoop her up and go here and go.
Because of Emily, do I roll with disadvantage or just
You roll normal, you're just slower as a result.
okay? 17.
17. Okay, so you keep up pace so you don't go any further forward, but you've got her under your arm. And last but not least, Slate.
Okay.
So Slate, as everyone starts running along, like as they clear, you emerge from the fog. Some of the vines kind of reach up to grab at you as you go past. So I need you to make a dexterity an acrobatics or athletics check to avoid or break through the vines.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay, so as it currently stands, you will make your move check with disadvantage. Obviously,
Sure.
you can dash to give yourself to even it out.
If I cast jump on myself,
Yeah.
can I jump forward?
Super Mario triple jump.
Woo!
You wouldn't be able to jump.
This chick's out.
You wouldn't be able to jump. Like, you would be able to jump forward, but you'll go no faster than if you're running. But there will be some things. I will give you advantage on some obstacles if you roll them. If you have jump, because you can jump over them much more easily.
Yeah, why not? I'll just do it at first level.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So you cast jump on yourself. You feel lighter on your feet, but please make me a move check with disadvantage. DC 14.
Ooh. Oops.
Oops, Vape's getting eaten.
Do you want to use your bardic inspiration? You'll need to roll a 5 or more.
I mean, there's no harm in trying,
Do you?
right?
Yeah.
So what is it, DC 10, did you say?
Just a 10. D10,
Roll
yeah.
D10, yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, so it's like you cast as you go to cast a spell on yourself, you kind of get tangled in the roots, and you kind of stumble and trip a few steps, and you notice as you glance over your shoulder that the shadows are beginning to catch up.
Oop.
Okay, so at the top of the next round, Zumbo, as you look up, you can see some of the shapes materialize, and a number of mind flayers drift overhead and start kind of levitating along the ramparts, and you can see them kind of like floating along to keep up with you. And you notice them raising their fingers to their heads, and you recognize that as what they do before they cast a mind blast. And you have
Are you not happy with just the shadows, Dan?
And you realize, you have a feeling that if you stay level with these mind flayers at the end of the turn, you're gonna get mind blasted.
Oh my god.
So you do not want to be level with the mind flayers at the end of turn. You can voluntarily fail your move check, or you can push on, or you can just eat a mind blast, you know? But Zumbo,
Just eat it.
as you see these mind flayers floating alongside the ramparts, there are no other complications. What do you do?
So, noticing the mind flayers, he'll shout at you to watch out, pointing to them, and then he's gonna carry on running. I'm gonna dash with my haste action. If that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's do acrobatics again.
Yeah.
27. Okay, you see the mind flayers and you think, oh nope, double nope, and you shoot ahead of their kind of projected area.
Yeah, and then looking back over his shoulder to see how everyone else is doing, you'll probably see Slate falling behind a bit and the shadows closing in. And using his normal action, he's going to throw some Eldritch Blast at the shadows as they get close to Slate to try and knock them back.
Ooh, okay. Roll me to hit.
So 26 and
Ooh.
20. Oh, quick!
And a crit.
Oh,
Very nice.
Okay. No need to roll the damage. So as you kind of look over your shoulder, and like Betty fires out 2 bolts of water that arc over everyone's heads. They crash into 2 of the shadows, which kind of dissipate into like mist and smoke. Worryingly, they're then replaced by 2 more as the kind of the stampede carries on. But you notice that in the confusion, everyone they have been slowed down. So Slate, you're going to get advantage on your move check next turn.
Thank you. I'll say from the
Okay.
rear.
And
The
just carry
vanguard.
on running.
Okay, Emily.
Emily is being carried, so she doesn't really need to roll for dashing, right?
Of course, yeah, that is correct.
She can do so. The the distance between us and the shadows at the moment is, you said, about 30 feet?
They're about 60 feet away, give or take.
60 feet, that's...
Yeah, let's pretend that each of these is like 30 foot wide.
That's a bit far. That's a bit far. That's annoying.
You can tell Hiram to slow down.
You are very funny. Yeah. But the Illithids are about 30 feet.
Yes.
Okay.
And up. So
And
they're
up.
60 feet away because that's the range of Mind Blast.
You really don't want me to do things here, do you? No.
They're 59 feet away, Tilda.
Thank you. Question for you.
Yeah.
For throwing things.
Yeah.
What is the maximum distance that I can do without having disadvantage?
You can throw like a dagger 20 feet. 60
Are you going to
feet.
throw Emily at the mind flares?
Emily is the one going to say absolutely not. But with the crossbows, she is going to take just a normal shot at one of them.
Okay.
Just to see what happens. 21.
Sorry, disadvantage because you're being jostled.
Okay. 13.
Okay. So, as she, like, Emily aims from, like, under Hiram's arm, and as she goes to fire the shot, Hiram has to kind of jump over a bit of rubble, and the shot just misses one of the mind flayers.
Yes, she will look down and go, a bit more steady, please.
Anything else, Emily?
I'm surprised she's not getting onto his back and using his head as a rest.
Katya, there are some mind flayers about 59 feet away from you, and they appear to be charging up a mind blast. You suffer no complications. What do you do?
Yeah, she looks at that and she's like, nope, 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 and dashes.
Okay.
Yeah.
As she pull ahead, and anything else with a bonus?
Nothing really that I can do anymore. I'm out of bardics.
Okay. So... Draw.
Draw's going to basically repeat the process, barking for Balthazar to keep up.
That is a
Pass.
big pass, yes, because he's 40 foot. Okay, so Draw like vaults over a crack in the, like a hole in the floor, and keeps up with you. Balthazar, your friend has run off.
Gotta follow the wolf.
So bear in mind, if you
Oh,
so
we
25. Okay, yeah, Balthazar.
follow the wolf.
Symmetrical.
Dum 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 dum. Like Balthazar's feet crack the flagstones as he runs. Okay, Hiram. If you sorry, Balthazar, you suffer no complication. That's handy. Hiram, you suffer no complications. If you do a big pass on your move check, you don't have to move forward.
Okay, let's try.
So it'd be DC. Oh, that's fine. I was gonna say.
Either way, I think I'm good.
Yes, DC 15 because you're a bit slower. Okay, so there's a big burst of speed, and you begin to pull ahead with Emily. Do you want to go forward into the next segment?
No.
Okay,
No,
so you run forward, and then you oh no, and you back away again. Cool. Anything else?
Can I just give some inspirational words to Slade?
You can? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just come on, Slade.
Move your bleeding ass! Slate, you, inspired by Hiram's words, suffer no complication. What do you do?
Excellent. I'm gonna dash as quickly as I can, and I've got the help of Zumbo there, right?
Yeah. So...
Nice knowing you guys.
Okay, so Slate, you kind of watch as these water bolts arc over your heads, kind of crash into the shadows behind you, and as Hiram shouts, like, hurry up, a surge of shadows kind of swarm out and envelop you. You take 25 to hit.
Yeah.
You take 26
Dan.
damage as the shadows they start like pouncing on you. You start to get kind of raked with chained whips, and you can feel kind of slashes across your back and what feels like bites as you kind of get caught up in the wave of shadows behind you.
Oh dear.
As this happens, you all hear a as a that section where the Mind Flayers were is blasted with psychic energy. They curse and then drop back, and more join the fray.
Oh dear.
Bad.
More join the fray.
More.
So, top of turn, Zumbo, more Mind Flayers. What do you do?
Yep. Okay, so hearing Slate's yells, he's going to keep up the barrage on the shadows and try and give Slate an opening to get free of them.
Sure. Sounds good.
17 and
Yep.
15.
15. Okay, so Slate, you get advantage again on your next roll so some of the shadows kind of, as they go to swarm you, they're kind of blown back by the gusts of water. And Zumbo, can you please make me a DC 10 dexterity, acrobatics or athletics check, please?
So this is...
As you are impeded by a piece of fallen rubble, a fallen pillar.
No worries.
Okay, so you vault the fallen pillar with ease, and then your move check.
Yep, sure.
Okay, and you tear past the Mind Flayers. Your brain will not be theirs today. Anything else?
Yeah, I haven't used my bonus action yet, so I think we will drop a tentacle, basically here, just in case any of them are left. The tentacle can try and absorb some of the Mind Blast.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. So in actual fact, the tentacle just kind of worryingly, it sprouts out of your back, and it's kind of waving like 30 foot long, just kind of waving wildly behind you.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay, so we will.
I kind of imagine it diving like a dolphin and just this tentacle just like keeping alongside them, Nessieing almost.
Yes. Okay, Emily. Any actions while you're being carried?
Yeah, she's going to shoot the shadow in front of Slate.
Okay, yeah. So try and sounds good. Roll to hit, and it'll be a normal attack because this thing's just a tide of shadows.
15.
That is a hit. Okay,
Yeah.
so Slate, you've now got advantage and +2 to your roll. Cool.
Thank you.
Anything else, Emily?
No.
Okay. Let's have some more shadows. Yeah, let's do that. Katya, you suffer no complications. What would you like to do? More Mind Flayers have turned up.
Yay! How far away is Slate?
Slate is currently 30, 60,
Oh, okay.
about 120, 150 feet away.
Okay, never mind. It's too far out to do what I want to do. Everyone's kind of too far out, so she's just gonna basically just repeat the mantra of just like with each like time she leaps something, just like nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you managed to keep. You're keeping up with the magically boosted Zumbo. It's his little legs, bless him. Anything else?
There's nothing I can do, unfortunately.
Okay. Drool.
Unfortunately, just Drool's gonna have to do much the same.
Nice.
Drool also passes and shoots forward. So the two of you advance. Balthazar.
Let's do the athletics. Avantage. Is there an impediment, by the way?
There is not.
Also one for Drool.
Hey.
Hey. There is not.
What up, a Drool?
Hey.
We good?
Woo.
Cool. So Balthazar has just flawlessly kept up with this sprinting dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Balthazar, I know you're not able to understand me, but you've definitely got some sort of sprinting game there for a mostly metal and wooden machine.
Balthazar looks at you and nods.
Hiram.
Yep.
You are carrying Emily. You notice that there seems to be a relatively safe spot between the Mind Flayers if you can make it forward or if you drop back. Where do you want to go?
No, I would like. I don't really want to leave Slate alone though.
You can elect to fail, drop back one, and then potentially help Slate in a sec. Well, tell you what. First off, the ground underneath your feet begins to give way. An acrobatics check, please.
An acrobatics.
Ooh.
The ground under your feet begins to crumble.
Oh.
So you stagger and stumble.
I am moving forward. I have Emily on me. I can't. Yeah, I'm moving forward.
Okay, are you dashing?
I am dashing, yes.
Okay.
So disadvantage?
No, not a disadvantage.
Yeah, normal roll, right? 'Cause it's-
Oh, no,
Normal
first-
roll. So
Normal
we'll use the first
side.
one. We'll use the first roll, which was a 28. And you drive deep into your resolve, and you pull ahead of the mind flayers. And anything else?
I think that's plenty of excitement for one turn.
Slate.
Come on,
Come on, El. You
Slade.
can do it.
You have advantage. You have +2.
Oh no, Dan!
You need to
You
Oh.
cruel,
Get-
unusual DM.
get over a
Um,
DC 10 acrobatics or athletics impediment.
Here, I
But you do
both
have advantage from
You
the
have
jump. Right?
advantage because you cast jump.
great. Okay,
you
so I
have
get to
advantage-
roll again.
So you have advantage on this one. So
Okay.
DC 10 with advantage.
Okay, here's a foolish thing I can do. Can I eat my pipeweed?
Hey?
Twinkling pipeweed.
What? So you can go out in a blaze of glory?
Yeah.
Go out blazed.
It gives me advantage on ability checks and saving throws for one ability score of my choice.
Oh, nice.
That's all I need. I hope.
That was a proper what the fuck moment from Dan.
I had no
Yeah.
idea that this thing even have rules. Yeah, sure.
You do already have advantage on both your rolls.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, for this one I'll be fine, but I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
Am I using the
okay.
right one? Yeah.
So you eat your
Finally.
twinkling pipeweed.
Well,
Okay.
I'll have I'll make the run first.
Okay. So yeah, with your magically powered jumps, you manage to bound over the impediment. Roll me. Okay, with the twinkling pipeweed, that's now double advantage. So let's say.
I feel like everyone would be looking back, especially here, and be like, "What are you doing?"
Okay, so let's call it advantage +5.
Okay, sweet.
I would love it if Slate was literally just getting a pipe right now and running with a pipe like as a steam train. Like,
The
Okay.
contact details for El's pipeweed dealer will be in the comments for anyone who's interested.
Subscribe to find out more.
Whew.
That's +5 is 19, which is just enough to pull ahead of the shadows. Okay.
God.
So, Slate, as you start chewing on this magical pipeweed, you
I
see
knew that
that
would come in handy.
you see the air in front of you ripple with psionic energy as the mind flayers blast across the ramparts. You see bits of masonry, like Hiram. You see masonry fly, break away and fly, fly to the side in front of you. The mind flayers curse, and at the top of turn,
Oh God.
more mind flayers join the
Ah.
party.
it's
And you realize that you are near the end. You can see the royal court. Is within reach. Within the next 18 or so seconds, within the next round, you will get to the royal court. But you see these mind flayers that now emerge above the ramparts that you're running along en masse.
I feel like, mindfulness on every single line we can stand in is a bit much.
Yeah, well, we are in their stronghold. So, first off, Zumbo. There is a large pillar, like a bit of masonry that's fallen across your path. It is a full-on barrier. I need a DC 15 acrobatics check or to vault it, please.
Alright, this wooden leg was made for vaulting. Let's go.
This leg was made for vaulting.
Oh, that's 20.
Oh,
Oh, my
Okay.
dice tonight. I'm so sorry.
Seamlessly, you do the pole vault using your wooden leg over this barrier. And what would you like to do for your move check?
I guess I'll be dashing with my haste action again. So, yeah, just rinse and repeat.
Okay.
Uh,
That is enough with your super duper bonus. So you stay at the front of the pack,
Cool.
and you're absolutely fine.
These mind flayers here, how far away from us are they? Given that
So
they're up in the air and stuff.
they're about 60 feet away.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to lob some Eldritch Blast at them.
Okay.
So one at each mind flayer. Okay, so 25 for the first
So
one,
one's a hit.
and
And
24 for the
two
second.
hits. Okay, don't worry with the damage. You manage to knock these mind flayers back far enough that they kind of fall out of the chase.
No.
sweet.
And
Very
then
good.
bonus action, I'm just going to move the tentacle, basically going to bore into the ground and then burst out by Hiram and Emily.
Okay. Well, you say that, it extends 60 feet out of your back.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And that's me.
Okay. Emily.
He is going to be very disturbed by the tentacle.
Yes. I think we
Yeah,
can
but apart from that... Wait a minute, these guys are now 30 feet, right?
They're about 60 feet away. Because they're
How are they still 60 feet away when they were 60 feet away when I was in the previous section?
Well, they're all 60 feet away, so they can mind blast anyone 60 feet away.
That makes no sense, but okay. Your math is junky.
Yes.
Okay, Emily's gonna shoot Dan.
AC 50. I mean, the crossbow's in range of the mind flayers.
Yeah. Okay, she's gonna shoot the man players. 14.
That is a crit armor. You fire the crossbow bolt, it flies up and glances off the breastplate of the mind flayer. The mind flayer rocks and then like turns to look at you. Its tentacles wave.
Feels like someone's cheating. And that's the end of her turn.
Okay, Katya.
I'm pretty safe here, aren't I? So I don't need to sort of like dash or do anything.
You just need to not fail.
Just need to not fail. Which, honestly, with... Ooh.
What were you about to say?
Of all the things, I have a plus 10. And I roll a goddamn 2.
Well,
got
I'll tell you
inspiration.
what.
Well,
That was
there we
your
go.
that was your
that was that.
impediment, clearly.
That's my impediment. That's more like it. Jeez.
Shammy kid.
Like my bloody it's a double. I have double proficiency in this.
Anything else, Katya?
I still have actually technically an action, but everyone's too far away for me to do anything with it.
You can voluntarily fall back if you like.
I would rather not. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do
haste
the
only has.
help action? Maybe I don't know how that would work. but-
Everyone's so far away.
Yeah. Okay, draw.
Oh wait, no, wait. It's a long shot. But how far away is this mind flayer?
30, 60, like 120 feet.
Oh, perfect. I know this is something stupid because I'll probably pass this anyway. But she looks back and is like, the mind flayer next to you is your enemy.
Okay. So DC 17 intelligence. It has magic resistance.
Yeah, of course it does.
It passes.
Oh well.
Right.
It kind of it resists your psionic attempts to probe into its mind. Anything else, Katya?
No, that was it. As I said, it was a
A Hail Mary.
long shot. Yeah.
Drawl. Drawl also hits an impediment, same as Katya,
Oh.
which he
Nice.
vaults over.
And then he'll dash.
Yeah. Okay. Front of the pack. Balthazar.
Follow the doggo.
As you follow the doggo, the impediment that Drawl jumps off, the ground beneath your feet begins to crumble away. Can I have an acrobatics check? DC 10.
Acrobatics, you said.
Yes, please.
Okay, that is a normal. That is mucho fail.
Okay, you make the move check with disadvantage.
So straight roll if I'm
If you're dashing.
dashing, right? Oh no,
Oh, no.
Doggo!
Balthazar, your foot goes through the crumbling stone of the rampart floor, and
Yeah.
the time it takes you to kind of wrench your foot free, you notice that you see this kind of red-headed creature and the four-legged creature kind of running off. And as you fall back,
wait, no.
as you fall back, you don't realize the impending danger you're now in.
I'm basically the Iron Giant. That's what I am.
Hiram, you suffer no complications. What would you like to do?
We need to run. I need to run fast. Yeah. I need to dash. Because there's nowhere safe.
On the plus side, at least you get +3 bonus to Mind Blast because you're a paladin.
Yeah, come join me. Give me +3.
Sure. Okay. Am I rolling with anything or just normal?
Just normal. Yeah, so you can roll advantage if you're dashing.
I was gonna put it back. Can I get that advantage from somewhere? Just pluck it out from the air. Oh look! 21.
Okay.
Ooh.
You manage to up, and you catch up with Balthazar, who appears to kind of.
Yeah, that does not help me, because I'm not going to lie, a Mind Blast might just get rid of me at this point.
Quite possibly.
Thank you for confirming that, DM. I'm so happy I'm in
right.
three plans.
I am a font of information. Anything else here, Ram?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. It's late.
Ooh.
You also face some uneven ground. The ramparts seem to be completely crumbling away. Can I have a acrobatics check, please?
Oh no, not an acrobatics check.
You have advantage to this because you cast jump.
What about the pipeweed?
Yeah.
Would it level out to normal?
Yeah, you'd have disadvantage on acrobatics.
Because of the pipeweed.
Just
Uh,
you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, Slate. What would you like to do for your move check? You have
Oh,
advantage
just-
because of the pipeweed.
I am just gonna do a big old run. Oh. Oh.
not your day, Slate. Not your day.
No.
So,
Hey, at least I'm not gonna get blasted by the mind flayers.
No,
now.
that's true. You successfully dodged the mind players.
That might be better, actually.
How would I rather go out, being mind blasted by mind flayers or torn apart by shadows? Yeet!
so, Slate.
You don't have an action for spellcasting, though, Slate.
I do have an action. Okay, I'm gonna use my action. Ugh, this is the worst.
Do something good.
Heal thyself.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I've all I've got is cure wounds.
Pick up cast cure wounds, maybe? Or, I don't know.
What have you got prepared?
Yeah, well, I guess I'm gonna have to go for cure wounds. I don't feel like.
You could whoosh
How
them
about
away
that?
with your staff. Flame them
Wait.
away with your staff.
I should have cast haste.
If I cast the bestial spirit, could I ride that into the dawn?
Go out the way you want to be, the form that you want to be.
The bestial spirit is not large, so you can't ride it. Annoyingly.
He's smaller. Okay, fine. Whatevs.
It's actually small, beg your pardon.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna just cast a bit of a cure wounds. I will do it for myself, obviously, at 4th level.
Nice.
There we go. At least I've got
Respectable.
that back in. That helps
Okay, punch
a
your
little bit.
22 healing. That's big. Okay, so
Good roll.
as you feel the shadows begin to kind of wrap round you, you kind of channel some healing magic for yourself, and like you look up as the hands start to crawl past you, and you can see like Hiram is carrying Emily, is running alongside Balthazar as some mind flayers begin to swoop in. You see them bring their hands up, and as you see their eyes begin to glow with this kind of white psionic energy, Slate, you hear a loud, deafening roar. There is a big swoosh of air, and you feel an intense heat behind you, and you feel fire lick the back of your neck as a number of red dragons ridden by Githyanki swoop in, and from the clouds plunges Kartanoth atop this scarred red dragon, swinging like with Argentus held up high. And as the Mind Flayers go to blast you, Hiram, Kartanoth swings past and takes the head off one. The dragon clamps down on the face of the second, shakes it around like a ragdoll, and then tosses the Mind Flayer away. And the shadows are beaten back by the dragon's flames, as are the Mind Flayers before they get a chance to cast their Mind Blasts. And as the dragons kind of weave around you and provide a slight escort, Kartanoth shouts down to you, Hiram, I consider this a favor that you owe me, he shouts as he pulls back on the dragon, swings round, barrels into
This
another.
is the minimum you should be doing as an ally.
Kartanoth looks over his shoulder, shouts something in Gith to the rider behind him, and Slate, you feel a claw wrap round your midriff as you're grabbed by a red dragon.
I'm flying! I'll do that thing, like that sloth that, gets lifted up to the other side of the road, just, spreads out and, goes, yeah!
And as the dragons kind of speed up to catch up with the rest, you look and you see this kind of wall of Mind Flayers kind of float down from the skies. And you hear this rumbling within the dragon's throat as it illuminates, and there's a gout of flame as the dragon breathes fire across the Mind Flayers and crashes into the ones that haven't gotten out of the way. And as the dragons kind of catch up with you lot who are at the front of the pack, the Mind Flayers kind of scatter to the winds as the remaining Githyanki, like Kartanoth's Githyanki fighters, distract them. The shadows are kind of stopped by a wall of dragon flame. And you hear kind of cries from Magnus and Raedra as they point out that the royal court is within sight, and they stop as they kind of they descend some stairs down into the court. And Kartanoth kind of turns round, and the dragon kind of hovers backwards a little bit as he looks to you, Hiram.
As he does,
yeah.
Can I lift Orbin and just and make it light up? Hey, look it!
So Kartanoth looks to you as you run past, holding Orbin above your head, and he shouts out, "It looks good, but I promise to honor your history," he says, and with a flick, he swipes the Mind Flayer Ica off the blade, and it gleams with this kind of psionic energy as his powers interact with the silver of your blade.
It's in good hands.
And he, Kartanoth kind of stops. The dragons kind of close around him, and he shouts to you, "You go! We will hold them back!" And with a roar, the horde of dragons swoops back up into the sky towards a nearby Nautilid, and you hear him shout, "The hunt begins!" And as you descend down into the royal courts, let's grab a 10-minute break.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Nice.
Oh, we made it. That was very close.
I will see you all in 10.
Um,
Bye.
Right, Slate, attention. You're the only person on this here boat without a clearly defined role. I'm the captain, obviously. Iram's first mate. Catty tells the stories, and even Balthazar, he makes a great anchor. What's your role in this here crew?
Oh, recruitment. There's a like button just there. Oh, and next to that is this magical subscribe button. Now that's a really important button. If you press that button, then you'll be able to follow us all the way across the seas.
Slate, I think you might have some potential after all.
Aha!
Welcome back, everybody. That was close, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Just a bit.
Definitely feeling it.
You all thought I was a big, mean, gribbly DM, didn't you?
We thought you were a meanie.
You are a big gribbly DM.
I am a big, mean, gribbly DM. But that is beside the point. You have successfully made it across the ramparts with the aid of the surprise intervention of Cutanoff and the surviving Githyanki Dragon Riders. And as such, you have made it down into the Royal Court. So, we rejoin the Warhounds. As you descend some rickety, kind of worn stairs into the Royal Courts proper. For all of you except Raedra, I think this will be new territory, because this is far from like the public access of the Royal Courts, for sure. But as you descend kind of into darkness, into the compound proper, you see even Raedra kind of stop and kind of look backwards and forwards a bit confused, and like as she's conjuring up her memories before turning in this way, she says, kind of leading you in. You can hear
If she has a "I have no memory of this place" moment, I'm gonna.
You can hear the screams and shrieks and roars of the dragons and the Illithids kind of disappear and get quieter behind you as you carry on. But you eventually kind of work your way down, and this place is labyrinthine. There are, like, architecturally, this seems almost deliberately hard to navigate. And for those of you more of a more military persuasion, you can't help but think maybe if this kind of makes the compound a bit more easily to defend, in case it might kind of confuse and turn around attackers. But before long, Raedra seems to have got her bearings. You find your way into what appears to be a large dining hall of sorts. And as you kind of make your way in, Raedra kind of looks around and, like, you stop to... She kind of holds a hand up for you all to be quiet for a moment. And as you all listen, all you can hear is the sound of the creaking floorboards under your feet. This kind of pervasive groaning of the world around you, and your own heavy breathing as you try to catch your breaths. And she turns to you and, "I think we're safe," she says. And with that, she kind of picks a chair up. So this dining hall, it's extremely kind of long. The floorboards under your feet look rotten and kind of broken in places. There's a large hearth fire on the right-hand wall that doesn't look like it's been lit for a significantly long time. A number of pillars rise up from floor to ceiling to hold this lofty kind of arched roof, which, given everything else, is in surprisingly good state. The table in front of you is stereotypically kind of long. There is a faded, kind of chewed up purple tablecloth that runs the length of it. And around the table are a number of chairs. Some are broken, some are knocked over, some are tucked in lightly. And you see from the entrance you made your way through, you see 5 other entrances to this room. But Raedra kind of like directs Magnus and Helenus and Axicas, and they kind of check the other doors, and they kind of close them, nod their heads. And yeah, Raedra turns to you and, "We're safe. We can get some rest."
Okay.
Magnus looks at you and, "Is everyone all right? It was pretty rough out there."
Had better days. Definitely not my best time, but well, I'm here. Really appreciate the suggestion of running over the ramparts, Raedra. Great one. Shall we just make sure that these doors are covered with some chairs, maybe, rather than just checking that they're okay?
Raedra Raedra nods, and again, Arin, Helenus, Axcas, they all begin to kind of move chairs to the 6 kind of doorways, to kind of prop them up to barricade them somewhat. And as you kind of spread around, like Balthazar just kind of stands idly in the just off to the middle of the room as you all kind of fan out, and yeah, so as everyone kind of, as Magnus checks you over, Raedra takes a seat, like she rubs her head, and by my reckoning, we're not overly far from the throne room. The problem is, I don't really know what's between us and it. She sighs. I'm glad that you're here with me, Warhounds. I feel more confident for your presence.
I think by way of an answer, Zumbo's, whose potion of speed's probably worn off, so he just toppled face first into an armchair.
I will go. Slate will go up to Hiram and use another 4th level to cast Cure Wounds.
Oh wow. Hiram is
On
going
Hiram.
to reach out a hand and put on your shoulder and like, you are my new favorite person in this group.
As a quick question, Matt, the temporary max hit points that you gave us, are they still running or are they finished now?
It's not max, it's just temporary HP, so as soon as you lose them, they're gone.
Where did we get a max HP?
I think somebody
boost from?
aided us, maybe Balthazar.
Balthazar cast
Was it?
aid at
That's
some point.
long, probably since faded, hasn't it?
Last 8 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, okay, cool. So still got 15
It
extra.
Doesn't require
max.
concentration, does it?
No.
Well.
Arin comes around to you all, and this place looks quite well defendable. And looking at it, there's long corridors from all other directions to here. So if anything clatters along, we'll hear it coming. So I suggest you grab some rest. I think they're going to need it before the day is through. And he nods to you and kind of like starts kind of tending to wounds as best he can, for anyone that's got any boo-boos. Helenus and Axacas are kind of over in the corner talking to one another, and Helenus turns and kind of announces, "We're going to scout ahead, see what's up, and see if there's any surprises for us between here and the throne room."
What about Balthazar?
Axacas looks a bit forlorn and, well, I feel there is nothing I can do for him here, but if we can be prepared for what is to come, then we can plan better. And she looks over at Balthazar, who's just is stoically just stood in the room. And she says, "Look at him, he's not getting up to any trouble," she says, with this kind of dry smirk. Raedra nods, and the 2 women sneak out of one of the doors and disappear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to joke about one of our friends being basically not himself anymore, but clearly I'm in the wrong.
Axcas is a funny one, yeah. So, as you all kind of settle in, is there anything? Are there any discussions or conversations that you want to have amongst yourselves?
I think once Zombo's had his initial power nap and wakes up feeling a bit rested, he probably perks up a lot and starts teaching Katya a really crude song about the legendary mermaid Mirabelle and his journey to find her. Which I guess if any of the others are listening, they might feel inspired by, potentially.
I mean, if we're having a short rest, the crude song
gets a little jazzy interlude. Okay, so yeah, everyone off the back of Zumbo's inspiring crude song, you get some temp hit points, and Katya, if anyone wants to spend any hit dice, you gain extra dice.
Yes, please.
This is a short rest, then we're doing.
Yes, you may all gain the benefits of a short rest.
How many temps do we get there?
13.
13.
13 temp hit points. So yes, Bardic Inspirations come back, Zumbo spell slots come back. I think Slate, Hiram, your spell slots are still out for the count.
Mine's still gone.
And it's 13 temp HP for all of us and Emily.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay.
So,
And then don't forget to add 8 to any health that you've gained.
Excelente. Hey, my wild shape should be back then if it's a short rest.
yeah,
Nice.
nice.
How about the
Much
staff?
better.
That only works at the dawn, okay. Cool.
Okay. So yes, you have your wild shapes back. So whilst this is all happening, like whilst you're kind of resting, Magnus approaches you, Hiram. So, it's a nice sword you got there.
Yeah, it lights up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I never took you for a fibber, Hiram.
That's because I am not.
Well, you've been going all this time saying you're a silver sword. But...
Agnes, I am going to be very honest with you here. I am having a full-on identity crisis here, but we have bigger problems. And I am not sure if this is because my father is not my father, and that I have been lied to all my life, or if my mother is somehow connected to this goddamn family, which opens up another kind of worms, and I'm just...
Magnus kind of smirks and no, I get it. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Big problems.
Also,
Big
I
problems.
have to ask you. So, what is your intentions towards my aunt?
I imagine from down the hall you just hear Katya sort of like miss a note, just.
Well, the good thing, Hiram, is that she's definitely not your aunt. Because she's only got one brother, and that guy's such a fop. He's definitely not got any kids.
Yeah, I know.
He looks to you and yeah. If you're it'd be interesting to find just how far up the line of succession you are, he says, and he gives you a little elbow nudge.
No. I don't want to know. I don't want anyone to know. I am happy as I am. Thank you.
He kind of nods solemnly and sure, and he pats Oberyn on the table in front of you and sure you don't want to know, he says, and he kind of chuckles to himself as he wanders off.
He taps it, lights up slightly, and he panics and runs off.
Yeah, how's Slate feeling?
Definitely has had, again, better days. I think there's been a bit of a reality check there.
Yeah.
That they're not as invincible as they sometimes think they are. I think they're quite worried for Balthazar, just not knowing what's going on there, you know.
Yeah. I mean, as you look over Balthazar, like Drool is curled up on the floor next to Balthazar, but Balthazar is just stood like a statue. And like his eyes are barely flickering with blue light.
I think, they'll just be watching everyone, just seeing how everyone's reacting, watching Aaron, kind of wondering how Aaron's doing. You know, obviously, they've been, just seeing everyone kind of do their thing.
Sure. I mean, Aaron, like as you watch Aaron, your insight is good enough that you see that he's a man that clearly he looks like a man who's out of his depth. But as he, like, you see him and he's got his spear out and he's just kind of like checking the edges for kind of dents and chips, and then just kind of he's going through his routine, and it's clear that he's trying to kind of lean in on his military normality to see him through, but he looks troubled. But as you look around the room, you kind of get the vibe from everyone. And as you think about that, you kind of have this slimy, cold feeling trickle down your neck, like you're being watched.
I'll look behind me.
As you look behind you, and all you see are cobwebs, like up in the corners, and yeah, the feeling kind of disappears as you look round. But then as you kind of dismiss it and kind of settle back in, you can't shake that feeling. You're being
Okay.
watched.
Anyone feeling like we're not necessarily? I mean, I know we're not alone, but is anyone kind of feeling a bit odd? I'll start pacing around, and then go up to Raedra and just say, "Should we get moving quickly? I think it's probably time." Are you noticing that?
As you say that out to everyone in the room, you all think about Slate's words, you start to put two and two together, and for some of you feel this kind of surge of worry in your chest that, is this place safe? What if we were followed? They could be watching us right now. And Slate, you watch as like some of the faces of your friends kind of take on this hint of worry, of paranoia. And Katya, as you look around, like you kind of check the doors and you check the windows to see if there are any windows people could come through. You hear, like, Slate says something to you, but you don't quite make it out.
She sort of like plucks the sort of like the last note of the Mirabella of the Rocks, and looks back to Slate. What did you say, Slate?
You didn't say anything, Slate. You asked your question a little while ago, and Katya was kind of off her own world, but you haven't said anything recently.
No, I'm just waiting. Should we go?
It's starting to feel a bit cramped in here, isn't it?
Give me a few more moments. I'm going to sort of connect us all back up, if that's okay. She'll cast the ritual for telepathic bond.
Sure. Okay. So you cast as you kind of cast a spell and you reestablish the link around you. Katya,
Mm-hmm.
make me a wisdom save.
Wisdom shove.
Ruh-roh.
5.
Yeah.
Oh.
5. Cool. So you begin to kind of hear each other's voices in your heads as you're able to speak telepathically again. Who have you invited?
The usual gang. So we got 9, haven't we, including me? Pretty much everyone in the room. I think.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I'd have to leave someone out. So unfortunately, Drool doesn't get added to the party. Well, I'm imagining it doesn't trigger on Balthazar, does it? Or
Is this including like Raidra and stuff as well, or is it just without them?
no, I mean I can literally include everyone.
Probably not worth having Balthazar in it, is it?
And that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering
but
if.
I mean, Drool doesn't exactly bring much either.
Well, currently
So-
more than Balthazar,
No, don't
right?
say that. Is there an intelligence requirement?
I don't believe there is for Rari's telepathic bond.
Intelligence
Well-
3 or more?
Intelligence 2 or more, so I can include Drool, but I can't include Balthazar. It doesn't work with Balthazar, so she tries, and it just.
Nope.
He doesn't know how to accept the to be welcomed into the chat room. It's ringing, but you can't hit that accept call button.
Is this including like Acticast as well, or is that they're
No,
already
because
gone?
they're out the room, I can't include them. And if they were in the room, I'd have to start picking and choosing people.
Sure.
I might
Okay.
I might leave Aaron out because Magnus and Raidra are quite useful, especially if they're not with us and if they stay here as base of operations.
But Aryan seems to be the most freaked out. It might be good for him to have an easier access to us.
Okay, well we'll include everyone in the room then.
That's just my thinking, though.
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
And Drool.
Um,
It slips off of Balthazar and goes to Drool instead.
Okay. In which case, yeah, you establish the communication, and you can start you hear the noises, the voices in your heads, and they all begin to kind of filter out as you all kind of attune to one another, and then you can start speaking telepathically. As that happens, as you've established, a few moments pass, and Raidra sits bolt upright in concern. Like she's got a frown on her face, and you see her kind of looking at the table. And then she kind of closes her eyes, scrunches her face, and then after a few moments, opens her eyes again, and she turns to you and, I just received a sending.
Who from?
She looks around and who'd like to take the message? She says, looking to the 5 of you.
What do you mean? If you say it out loud, we can all take the message?
She kind of agrees. She crunches her eyes up again for a few moments and then opens them. It's Renna.
Okay.
She's in Suzail.
Why?
Well, her and I headed to Suzail after we left Marsemba, but I rode ahead, and she had some things to do in Walloon, but she's asking what's happening, because everyone in Suzail is stood out on the streets, staring up at the sky. Everyone. It's like they're being controlled.
So this is a Chimley, right?
Fireplace, yeah.
A fireplace. How large is the chimney opening?
Chimney.
Are you hoping that you can see up and through?
No, not necessarily, but is it how big is it?
A small Suzalen girl could probably chimney sweep it, yeah.
She basically, when she sort of hears that, she goes to the chimney, looks up it, and she's like, I've been in worse situations. Give me a second, everyone. I'm going to go try and have a look.
What?
Are you going to attempt
Don't
to
get
climb up?
stuck, please.
Yeah, she's going to attempt to climb up it using sort of acrobatics to sort of like...
Sure.
Yeah, Katya, wait, and Zumbo will run over and just plop Betty on Katya's head.
Oh, that feels weird. That feels weird.
Betty wraps around your head like a bicycle helmet.
Safety first, Katya.
You've given me 2 gifts today. One I'm going to treasure for the rest of my life. The other I'm going to forget about as soon as I get a drink in me.
As you climb the chimney, you find there are points where you feel your chin being dragged up as Betty appears to be using her remaining tentacles to aid you in climbing up the chimney.
You know, this isn't the first time I've climbed a chimney, Betty.
You emerge up the top, like you put your head out. Well, you get to the top of the chimney, and with a push, you manage to push the chimney stack kind of off the roof, and you can't really climb out, but you can see the sky above, and you can see this pinkish light rising up from a bit further over on the court up into the rift, and kind of spreading out over the city of Suzail.
And can we sort of see through the rift?
Yeah. You can see through the rift. Like there are a couple of clouds in the way, but yeah, you can see.
She calls down and like, Sambo, can you put your magnifying glass down there? Just put it in the entrance. I'll bring it up to myself.
Yeah, all right. And he'll just place it on the fireplace.
She'll use her mage hand to sort of pull it
Sure.
up as it just levitates up to her.
So you acquire Zumbo's magnifying telescope. You hold it to your eye and you think, oh, everything's tiny.
And then
you
remember.
You turn it around, put the wide end to your eye, and looking up through the rift, you can see, like you see through the rift, you can see the roofs of the buildings, and then you can see like the ground above the roofs. And sure enough, the streets are uniformly lined with the citizens of Suzail, and they're all just staring up at the rift.
Through the chat room, she explains exactly what she's seeing. They're just standing in the street looking at it. Don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. They're just. She's right. Rena's right. Everyone's.
Well, I think you're telling enough. We might need to hurry up.
As the sounds of Katya like coming back down the chimney stack, and it's not sooty, it's just very dusty and cobwebby. But Rage returns to you, and why is this happening? Do any of you know? Do you have any of you have an idea?
Well, there's a big pink sky beam going straight through, so either it's some sort of very powerful brain spell like I have, or maybe in the same way that I can get people to do things, maybe they're doing it on a much larger scale. Maybe they're commanding everyone just to stand in the street, maybe.
What do you think? The beam is amplifying the mind control?
Maybe like a mass suggestion almost, but like mass suggestion made bigger.
Warhounds with an intelligence of more than 1. Roll me a history check.
Oh, 7.
19.
And a 9 for Slate, and an 11
9.
for Zumbo.
Oh.
Katya, as you all start kind of spitballing ideas, trying to figure out what on earth it is that's happening, you will watch as Katya just slowly stops, like her ideas slow to a crawl, and then her eyes, like her pupils shrink in shock. Because Katya, you do know of something that can do this.
Diadem of Ayalum?
You remember reading the stories in the Sharan library that the diadem of Ayalum allowed the wearer to command utter loyalty and obedience to the wielder. And you last saw it being taken away by the Illithid as the Nautilid plane shifted away. And as you think back to when you stepped through the portal into the Shadowfell, you do not remember that Illithid wearing the diadem.
It's the diadem. The diadem of Ayalum. It's the ones that the Illithids took from Ursula before they bit her head off. It's amplifying their power. So I'm right. It's brain magic, but the diadem makes it 100,000 million times better.
Katya, when you explained what the whole connection looks like and where it originates from, you kind of described it as a giant brain, right?
Well, I only really sort of sensed its thoughts, but it was, as I said, it was like all mind flayers at once.
Okay, so in that case, out of character, I am now imagining like just a floating brain wearing a little
With a tiny little diadem on this huge elder brain. I look glorious!
I am the prettiest brain in the world.
As you start putting, like, as you kind of start having these realizations, a nearby door, like the northern door, boom, goes to open, stops for a minute, and then you hear, "Let us in."
What's the password?
We didn't set a password.
That, funny enough, was the password. It's uncanny how you guessed it.
And as you open the northern door, Helenus and Axicas step back through. And the two ladies look around the room, and Helenus raises her eyebrows, and you look like shit. What's happened?
Do you want the short version or the long version?
Which would I be less worried about?
Neither.
Right. Then short, Katya darling.
Illithid's big brain magic.
Helenus frowns. Let's actually go for the long, shall we?
And then she explains.
Okay. Axicas takes a seat, and she, like she's rubbing her forehead, and like you notice that as she does, she kind of wraps her finger along the edge of the horns coming off her forehead, and she, this day keeps getting better and better. She stands up, and we made it to the central building. The building is encapsulated in some sort of arcane ward. We could not get in, and it appears to be, from what it looks like, it appears to be powered by two fonts of power that are coursing with powerful divine magic.
Well, if only we knew a guy who knew a lot about divine magic and arcane wards. And Zombo
We do,
glance
says Magnus
briefly
as
at
he sits up.
Balthazar.
We do. I'm a fully qualified cleric of Helm, I'll have you know.
Yeah, wasn't talking about you actually, but
Yeah, Magnus, you're embarrassing yourself.
Good about it. We literally have a song about him being a cleric.
But, right? Magnus gestures towards Hero. Right?
Katya leans close to Magnus like, Magnus, do you really want me to sing the song about the time you touched an exploding wall and got fired out of a cave?
To be honest, Katya, it sounds like that might come in useful if there's a magic force field around the throne room of this shadowy Suzail.
Yes, but the second verse is about us asking the question whether or not you were still alive. So it's
Actually, Magnus, do you want to go to touch the magical ball and see if it explodes? We will get you back.
Well, maybe, possibly. Maybe not. We'll see. How's Balthazar doing? He says.
It's the same as before. Thank you for asking.
As you all
Do
turn
you
look,
have any useful spells to cast on him, maybe, to get him back to normal?
well, as you all turn to look at Balthazar, Balthazar hasn't moved. And Magnus stops and, well, I have had a couple of thoughts about the big tin man over there. The spell, the feeble mind, it shatters the memory. Basically, it neuters your personality and your memories. That's why you cease to function. You can still, we saw it. He can still run, and he recognizes us. He just can't operate at any higher level of function. He can't talk. He doesn't know what we're saying to it. His mind is shattered. But we could try to piece his mind back together. And it might just be a case of seeing if we can get him to remember, Magnus says with a frown.
So, if Katja starts singing a song of the Ballad of the Warhounds, maybe Balthazar will start remembering the parts where he was there?
Magnus shrugs. Perhaps it might be a bit like when someone's in a coma. They can still hear you. They can hear you, but they just can't respond, like they're trapped inside themselves.
Wouldn't it make a difference that he actually lost his memory for a long time and he just got it back? Would that make a difference? Because there is something that would definitely remind him that, he recently recovered his memories, and that's the wedding ring.
Axakas taps her bottom lip. It is possible. I mean, he has already gone through one traumatic loss of memory when he died. But we already know that he regained his memories, but perhaps he can regain them a second time.
Do you think it would help if you heard the voice of his wife?
Axakas thinks, at this point, anything is possible.
I did. We were with her long enough that I think I can replicate it.
Axakas looks at you all and I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, we're not getting into that throne room without someone who can channel extreme amounts of divine energy. And
I just had a horrible thought.
yes,
He could recreate the second wedding.
I ain't wearing a dress here.
No, Katja can voice. What? No, Katja can voice. Oh my God, Daisy. And Zambo is here. You can recite what you said.
Yeah.
Maybe that will jog his memory.
And
Good, because just because I'm a halfling doesn't mean I have to play the bride.
No, it's okay. I can do that bit. Well,
just
I
put
Slightly
can see you were
taller.
thinking it.
Betty on your head. There you go. Long hair. Perfect.
look, I can do Daisy. I mean, it will be a taller Daisy, but I can do Daisy.
We don't need to physically recreate Daisy, guys. The voices are enough.
as you all kind of start coming up with these ideas, Magnus thinks, and well, I mean, it's worth a shot. I mean, he turns to Axakas. You say there were two sites that were powering this force field of sorts, and Axakas nods, and well, I am proficient and equipped to deal with one of them, but we need to get him back up and running. So, what say we just get him on the table, see if we can fix him.
do any of us know how he was put together in the first place?
No.
Axakas stops you. I do not think it will be a physical repair, but a mental and emotional one.
Maybe
Well,
listen.
Sorry, go on.
Up to you.
Well, if any of you magical lot can send Renner ascending, wasn't she involved with his creation?
Sorry, say that again.
What wasn't Renner involved in Balthazar's creation? Could we send her a little line? She could give us some tips on how to reach him.
Raedra kind of looks to you with an apologetic look. We don't have any sendings. I only got in contact because she messaged me, and that's done now.
Ah, fair enough. Right.
But
If you get her another time, can you next time ask her to check in like every 10 minutes, or someone else to check in? Well, they're all looking at the sky, aren't they?
Question.
But you know, check
Is
in.
there a reason why we're looking for more things before we tried the easiest things to try, which is Katja basically talking at Balthazar?
Magnus nods. It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
What,
Well, let's do
what
it.
Hiram said. Okay, so in which case, so Aaron helps and you kind of guide Balthazar over to the table and slowly kind of lead Balthazar to take a seat, and you eventually manage to get him to lie down on the table. Cool.
That's
You
so
managed to get Balthazar to lie down on the table, and Katya, as you approach and everyone else kind of approaches, so what explain to me exactly what it is you're doing to start this kind of process. And Axakas reminds you, we need to get him to remember memories. We need to impress shared memories we've had with him that were important to us, important to him. Anything that will kickstart his mind. The more fragments that we can help him identify, the easier it will be for him to piece those fragments back together.
Okay, Axakas. So Katja climbs onto the table and approaches Balthazar.
Mhm.
Daisy's West Country, isn't she?
I think it's Irish. Irish.
She was kind of.
She was American.
She's the perfect North Cormyrian halfling accent.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you had like a Cornish accent, if I'm not mistaken.
It was a little bit.
It was a little bit Cornish. We'll go with Cornish then.
Okay,
So
cool.
she leans over. She sort of like, Balthazar Talbot, what sort of problem have you got yourself in now, you silly thing?
As you begin, Katya, and your voice kind of trickles into Balthazar's mind. Balthazar, you hear a voice in your mind, and the voice is one of a stranger's to begin with, and then slowly it begins to make some sort of sense, and you're not really sure who or what, but no, you stop and think, and you rub your little halfling hands across your eyes, and you scratch your beard as you try to remember desperately who it is this voice belongs to. And as you struggle to think, you hear a voice from behind you.
Greetings, Master Talbot.
And as you turn to look, there is
No, bad.
Bad touch.
There is an
No,
old
don't like
man. There is an old man who emerges from the shadows. The color of his beard and the sallowness of his skin belie an incredibly incredibly old age, there is a power, an authority that radiates from this individual, who wears what looks to be some sort of grim skeletal visage of a back piece, and the man looks at you with glassy black eyes that match the sheen of the black crown upon his head. And Balthazar, you look up to this old man who kind of looms over you, and the figure continues.
You're quite lost, aren't you, Master Talbot?
Wait, who are you? Where am I?
I have had many names in my time upon these realms, but you may call me
I allow? Where are we?
You're lost, Master Talbot. Lost within your mind. There are devious, treacherous voices which are attempting to take control of your memories. But I
feel
am
lost.
here. I am here to help you.
Yeah, you look a bit scary. Are you gonna hurt me? Don't hurt me.
The man smiles,
I'm here to save you.
and as you watch, the figure seemingly begins to grow and expand in size as he lifts
God.
his arms out, and the area you're in begins to take shape, and it appears to be almost this like long corridor, and the figure continues to grow and grow until he towers 100, 200 feet in height, and this booming voice,
I'm here to set you
Balthazar hides behind his staff. Oh God! Oh.
and with that, we will call it there.
Mind fight, mind fight, mind fight, mind fight.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, this looks a bit like a hockey stadium. Are we gonna play hockey? Is that?
It's the game for mind battles, really, isn't it? Hockey.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
Minesweeper.
Yay.
Congratulations, everyone, on completing episode 40.
Dope.
So,
Nice one.
the end is in sight. You can see the throne room. There's just a broken Warforged and some creepy mine stuff in the way. All in a day's work, right?
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, well, yes.
Awesome.
Thank you all for doing that, and thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. If you
Good him then.
No worries. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to hit the like button and leave some comments down below. We upload many videos all the time. On a 3-week on, 1 week off schedule. We have a TTRPG podcast with myself, Anton, and Carl, and guests usually, and loads of other stuff. So, if you like what we're doing here, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well. And with that, thank you all again, and I will see you next time.
Catch you
Sweet.
later, everyone.
See ya.
Doodly bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Balthazar faces a foe unlike any other he or the Warhounds have encountered, and his very mind is in danger of being destroyed. Will the Warhounds' plan to restart Balthazar succeed? Come back next time to find out. Thank you all for watching until the end. It really means a lot to us all. If you like this episode, remember to click the like button and comment down below. The players will need all the moral support for the last few episodes. If you want more content from us, you can find another video here. We upload regularly, so make sure to hit the subscribe button here to keep up to date with our new releases. So, with that said, thank you once again. Stay safe, and may the realms endure.